Building a gaming PC in 2026 is really hard, especially with RAM, SSD, and GPU prices being so expensive. But despite that, I was able to put together a $450 gaming PC that basically runs 90% of games at good FPS. Now, like always, links to everything will be in the description below, and let's just get right into it. So, starting with the CPU, we have the Ryzen 5 5500, which you can get for about $85 on Amazon. Now, this is honestly one of my favorite budget CPUs, and I've been using it in a ton of different builds, and the reason for that is because it's on the AM4 platform. The reason that's important is, as mentioned earlier, RAM prices are really expensive, and going on a platform with DDR5 is just not worth it right now. So going on the AM4 platform allows us to use cheaper DDR4 memory, and for the performance we're targeting at 1080p, this CPU is going to work really well. It has 6 cores, 12 threads, and one of the biggest benefits also is that it comes with the RAID stealth cooler in the box. So that does actually save us some money from having to get a third-party cooler, but overall for this system and the budget, it's a really good choice. So for the motherboard, I'm going to be using the Asus Prime B550M-A Wi-Fi Mark II, but the one I have linked below is the Gigabyte B550M-K, which you can get for $70 on Amazon. Now, I've been really recommending this motherboard a lot because getting a B550M board for $70 is honestly really good. The reason I don't actually have one is simply because in Canada, it's really hard to actually get the board at a good price. So for most of you guys that are in the US, getting the Gigabyte board is a lot more accessible, but maybe one day I'll also have the board as well. Whether you go with the Asus one or the Gigabyte one, they're going to be really similar in feature set, and it's going to work with all the parts that we're using here. So now for everyone's favorite part, we have RAM, and what I always have been recommending is using the used market. Now these can be sites like Facebook Marketplace, Jawa, eBay, any of those sites, and basically you're going to be targeting 16GB DDR4 RAM at around 3000 to 3600 megahertz. Now this speed range is perfect for the Ryzen CPU and the Ryzen platform in general, and you can usually find this for around $60. So the one I have here is the T-Force Delta RGB kit at 16GB running at 3600 megahertz. Now whether you get one that's 3000 megahertz or 3200 megahertz, honestly there isn't really going to be a huge difference in performance. But as long as you're in that 3000 to 3600 megahertz range, it's going to work really well with the CPU. Now for another part that is really expensive, we have the SSD. Now the one I have here is the WD Blue SN5100 500GB SSD, but the one I have linked below I'm pretty sure is the T-Force G50. So just like RAM, SSD prices have been really bad as well, and they tend to fluctuate a lot. So I think I actually had another SSD that I was gonna put, but that actually went up in price. So the G50 is going for $92 at the time of recording this video, but there is a chance that that might go up. So what I'm gonna do is actually link a couple of options so that you guys have some choices you can go through. But yeah, $92 for a 500GB NVMe SSD is really bad. But yeah, there's just nothing we can do about it, and hopefully it will be fixed soon. Now for the case, I'm using the Dark Flash Micro ATX case that I've been using in a ton of different builds, but the one I have linked below is the GAMDS Micro ATX case. Now the reason why I'm recommending that one instead is because it's actually going for $38 new on Amazon. That GAMDS case does come with RGB fans, and it's also in the Micro ATX case, so it's actually pretty compact. And yeah, usually I would recommend the Dark Flash one, but it actually seems like that one has gone up in price a lot. And especially for a budget build, you're not really trying to spend $60 to $70 on a case. Now I actually did order this case because I do want to use it in future builds, but since I'm in Canada, the shipping is actually really long. So hopefully in future budget builds, I'll have that case to use, but for now, the Dark Flash one is a good alternative. Now for the power supply, I'm using the Thermaltake Smart 500 watt, which you can get for $42 on Amazon. And honestly, this power supply isn't great. I definitely would recommend trying to get something a little bit better, but since we are on a tight budget, there really aren't that many choices. If you did want to spend $10 more, I usually recommend the MSI Mag A550BN, which is a much better power supply. But if you're really trying to get under that $450 budget, there are really just not that many choices. But yeah, with the parts we're running, it doesn't take too much power, so it should be completely fine. But if you do want to get a better unit, I will link the MSI Mag A550 550BN alongside the Thermaltake 1. Now for the heart of the system, we have the graphics card, and this is where I went with the GeForce GTX 1070. And you can usually get this for around $60 on the used market. And even though this GPU is about 10 years old now, it actually performs really well. It has 8GB of VRAM, which is surprising because some new Nvidia cards also has 8GB of VRAM. And I'm not saying the GTX 1070 is as fast as those newer GPUs, but it does kind of put into perspective that Nvidia is just not increasing VRAM like they should. But yeah, as you guys will see in performance, the GTX 1070, especially at 1080p, is actually still pretty surprisingly solid. But yeah, for what we're targeting, I actually think this GPU is still really good. But yeah guys, that is the entire $450 build, and the total for this came out to $447, which we actually are under budget, which is really good. So now what I'm gonna do is play some benchmarks so you guys can see how this PC performs. But yeah guys, that is the entire $450 gaming PC. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you guys all in the next one.